welcome to another episode of Asia Unscripted. So I've been here in back in Vietnam, back in Danang for about a week and a half now. And I don't know if I told you guys before, I don't remember, but I was also living here in 2019 before I started the channel. Well, technically the channel was there, but I wasn't doing anything with it back in early 2019. So back in 2019, things in Danang weren't that great. The number of Korean and Chinese tourists were taking a bit of a dip even before COVID, and but it was still busy. I mean, there was still, like this street, there would be plenty of tourist buses going down, but now you see them every once in a while, and a lot of them aren't really using full-size buses these days. They're using like this essentially a van to shuttle people around. Sugar daddy, anyone? Last Friday night I had some time off of work, so I went down to what I called in the previous video Cracker Town, where all the expats hang out. And for the most part, except for the Irish pub, it was pretty dead. Went by one bar, and the only person that was in it was the bartender, and that was at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. So things are definitely not back to normal. They're better than what they were, but definitely not back to, when I was here in 2019, but definitely not back to that level. So, part of it is the 30-day visa. Part of it is the flights aren't all back to the way they were. Danang has a great airport. It's got 2 terminals, a domestic and an international, just like Cebu and just like Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. It's actually a pretty decent airport to fly out of. I don't know if you've ever been to the Ho Chi Minh City airport, but that place is a freaking zoo. So, Danang planned for the future. So even though they probably didn't need 2 terminals, they decided to build the second one for the future. And I think they're even thinking about a 3rd terminal, again, for the future. So, and the other thing I've noticed is, a lot of these places are closed down. However, they're preparing for the tourists to come back. I mean, this place across the street, a week ago, there weren't any windows or lights or anything in there. That's the one thing that's great about Vietnam. I got a friend in Saigon who works for a restaurant, and the restaurant closed down, a couple weeks ago. And they told her, well, once they remodel and once everything is done, we'll reopen the restaurant and you can come back to work. It only took a week to tear down the restaurant, rebuild it, and get it going. They don't play around in Vietnam. A place can be a restaurant this week, and then the next week it could be a souvenir store. They don't mess around. Once they figure out what they want to do, they'll just freaking do it. They'll just do it. So, in the States, if you have a restaurant and you want to turn it into a souvenir shop, man, that's going to be a long process. I mean, you're lucky if you'll get it done in a couple months, probably longer than that. So, definitely not. The U.S. is definitely not the best place to open a business. Now, a lot of foreigners here in Danang do own businesses. Last night I went to this hot dog joint It's called Grilled. You can look it up. Grilled Danang. And they had some pretty good hot dogs and sausages and fries and stuff like that. And the owner is a foreigner. I met an owner of a pizzeria here called Gordon's Pizza, Gordon's New York Pizza. And I talked to him for a while. He's a cool dude. He's from New York, just like me. And he's been running that pizzeria for a couple of years now here in Danang. He just started doing bagels and bagel sandwiches in the morning, so I've kind of been his taste tester. And he's doing an awesome job. The bagel sandwiches are just like what you would find on the streets of Manhattan. So, if you're in Danang, go down to Gordon's New York Pizzeria, get yourself a bagel sandwich, and their pizza's decent too. So, get a slice of pizza. He's got garlic knots. He's got all of the stuff you would find, well, most of the stuff you would find in a New York pizzeria. So, yeah, there is Vietnamese food here. But, if you don't want to eat that 3 times a day, there are plenty of Western options. I walked down the street and saw a Turkish restaurant, saw a couple of Thai restaurants. My favorite Thai food in Danang is not a restaurant. It's a guy. His name is his restaurant, I think, is called Ken Nam Thai, and he just does delivery. But man, he does the best Thai food, and he's not even from Thailand, but he learned how to cook it there, and he delivers it to you. So, yeah, there are a lot of options here for food. I saw a German deli. I said the pizza place. Bikini Bottom Express is a great American restaurant. Awesome breakfasts. And they got burgers too, but I'm not as impressed with the burgers. But yeah, you can find pretty much any cuisine you want here in this part of Danang. Now, if you go to the other parts, it might be a little bit more difficult. So yeah, I mean, Danang pretty much has everything you need. So, got a coffee stand. Yeah, so, the visas kind of suck. But, again, if you really want to be here, don't let that stop you. I mean, there are visa run options that you can do. The government's not limiting the amount of e-visas somebody can get. So, again, if you want to be here for a long time, you can. I know people who are on their 11th and 12th e-visas. So, these beach chairs under the umbrellas, you can rent one for 40,000 dong a day, which is about $1.75-ish. So, yeah, it's pretty cheap. In the U.S., if they had something like this, you're probably looking at $30 to rent one of these chairs. So, $1.75, that's a bargain. And they do sell drinks, so you don't have to worry about that. So, anyways, just wanted to give you an update on Danang. Of course, I'll be doing more videos. I'll be here for a little bit. Anyways, that's all for now. I don't want to make this video too long. So for Asia Unscripted, this is Jason. You guys take care out there, and we'll see you around.